Now, I told you there's some criminal misapplication of scheduling. Boy, there sure is. Remember that sales prediction chart, okay, that I told you to use? I am your feedback. I tell you feedback is important. Well, I am your feedback. Write this down. Use a sales prediction chart. Folks, I'm going to put a new Buick Century in your garage in increased profits from this one thing alone. If you use a sales prediction chart properly, I'm going to show you now how to do it. You've got to forgive the people in training. The people in training show you how to do this. They don't run stores. They don't know. They're just parroting back stuff that they have learned. I know what I'm talking about. You do this. This is very, very important. The sales prediction chart tells you how many people to schedule. It tells you exactly what you're going to do all day long. I can look at my schedule that a manager hands me, and I can tell them before we even work the week what our productivity is going to be for the week. Because I know how many sandwiches I'm going to sell every day and all week. I know how many hours they schedule. And they hand me this thing that says they're going to do a productivity of 6. I push it right back at them and say, you know that. It's not acceptable. The absolute minimum that a manager in a $4,000 a week store can run for me and keep their job is an 8.2. Absolute bare bones minimum that I accept. And here's why. Let's take a well, we'll use that $1,200 a week store. Excuse me, that 1,200 unit store we're doing. That translates to, that's about a $4,000 a week store. Okay? 1,200 sandwich units, it does some miscellaneous and some soda. That's about a $4,000 a week store. That store, if they got a 5.3 productivity, they had to schedule 226 hours to get a 5.3. They get that up to a 6.3, they use 191 hours. You get up to a 7.3, they use 164 hours. They get up to what's realistically attainable between an 8.2 and an 8.5. I'm going to say 8.5. That's 141 hours. Okay? Folks, I don't know what your labor costs are. Let's say you're paying everybody minimum wage. Plus your taxes, that's really $4 an hour. You're paying minimum wage, it's $4 an hour. The difference, if you're running a 5.3 to an 8.5, what are we looking at? 85 hours difference. A week times $4 an hour. $340 a week that I'm putting in my pocket that you're throwing away. And as we all know, there's exactly 50 weeks in a year. I don't multiply by 2 very well. We're talking about $17,000 a year in your pocket. Now, this is the difference between the same sales. We haven't changed sales in the store a penny. The only thing we've done is instead of making 5.3 sandwiches an hour, we're making 8.5. We're making 3.2 sandwiches and 3.2 setups an hour. I've got to schedule extra people to give good customer service. Okay, give me the Buick. And that's what you're saying, is you're throwing away this money. And I already told you, you don't need those people to give good customer service. You're going to give better customer service without them. Because now, you're overstaffed, they learn to mill around. Use the sales prediction chart. Manager hands you that sales prediction chart, you figure out your projected productivity. Now, Subway's 10 is a great goal. But on a $4,000 a week store, you can't hit it. It can't be done. An 8.8 is perfect productivity on a $4,000 a week store. Okay, so those of you that are under 4,000 or at 4,000, you're not going to get a 10. Don't try for a 10. You can't do it. Okay? But try for an 8. Okay? Those of you that are doing $5,000 a week and up, if you're accepting anything less than a 10, you're nuts. Yeah. You bet. Let me give you an example. Here's what I count. Everything. That's what I count. My stores are open from 11 in the morning till 2 in the morning. 7 days a week. That is 16 hours a day, plus half an hour before and a half an hour after. Half an hour before and a half an hour after. That's 112 hours a week. We double shift lunches almost every day. With our sales mission chart, we need to double shift lunches 2.5 hours. We double shift lunches 6 days a week. We double shift dinners for an hour and a half, 6 days a week. And I give the manager 1 hour a day back just to play with. That totals 143 hours a week. Okay? That's what I would expect on a $4,000 a week store. Okay? 143 hours a week is right in this range. Now you can't go back tomorrow and prune your schedule to go from a 5.3 to an 8.5 because everybody you got will walk. You've got to train them to be fast first. Get your house in order. Once they're fast, their perception is going to be, how many units did you just do? Oh, I don't know, it's real slow. It's real slow. You run the X, they did 60 sandwiches. And this is what my people are saying. It was real slow. Well, you did 60. Yeah. Jeez, I thought it was real slow. Okay? To give you a classic example, I've got a store with a partner at the University of Connecticut. That's about $14,000 a week. Pretty good store. The store was running an 8.5 productivity because that's all I demanded of the manager. Finally, I realized, hey, this is crazy. Okay, let me show you why an 8.5. The profit curve comes up like this. And at 8.5, it flattens. You still make more money as productivity goes up, but it dramatically changes at 8.5. The difference between an 8 and a 9, okay, excuse me, let me give you say it a different way. The difference between 7.5 and 9.5, this is a big difference. But this is a fairly small difference. So the curve comes up dramatically at 8.5. That's why I use 8.5 as my target. That's what you should use as an 8.5. This store that's doing the 14 grand that was doing an 8.5, I went to the manager, I said, Carl, listen, I got other stores that are only doing $10,000 and $12,000 a week, and they're running productivities of 11 and 12. How come you're the best line store I got? He says, I don't know. We can't handle it. We're burning out. Too much work. I said, well, maybe I find a manager, Carl. No. I pay big bonus based on sales. It's rich in this store. I told him, okay, let's shoot 4 and 11. All right. 13 weeks later, he's running a 12.6. And he says to me, Doug, I wouldn't have believed it, but you were absolutely right. Now that we're working efficiently, we work hard, but when we take a break, we really sit and take a break. And the employee's perception is that the work is easier. Before, I was overstaffed, and there was a lot more milling around. We actually got less break time because we weren't as efficient. Staff is happier when they're efficient and working at a higher level. I told you we got to pay between $5 and $6 an hour to get applicants. We got to run productivities that are high, or we got to cut our throats.